Afternoon and welcome back to the channel YTCSC, YouTube's Celtic Supporters Club. My name is Mark Campbell and I am your host. I haven't done a video for a few weeks now. Myself and Brian have been super busy and we've not managed to get on. So I thought I would get on today, give my thoughts on what's going on. There's a hell of a lot been happening. Pretty sad stuff actually to where the club are currently sitting. But we've also got a game tonight, St Mirren versus Celtic, which I'm really looking forward to. But we are still looking for everyone to subscribe. Lost a few subscribers, and that's fair enough because we've not been on for a couple of weeks. But if you can click the button, just do it. It's right in front of you. Click that subscribe button, and that'll let you know when videos drop. Okay. Okay, let's get into this video then. Okay, first things first, we have had a hell of a lot happen and it's frying my brain at the minute. And there's so much we could have done over the last couple of weeks on this channel to talk about what's going on, Wilfred Nancy, Martin O'Neill, and then this nonsense that has happened in the AGM. It's all pretty saddening actually. That's the word that I would use, sad. I feel pretty sad as to where we are as a football club. And if I'm being honest, it looks like the fan base are now pretty split and they are pretty divided, which is really what we didn't want. We didn't want the Celtic fan base split, but if you're honest about it, that's exactly what's happened. We've got one side of the fan base who are supporting the board and they think the board are managing Celtic well enough. They are happy with us trying to continue our domestic dominance and peddling about in Europe. And then you've got the other side who think the board are doing a poor job, they're not fit for purpose, and we are not aggressive enough to actually compete in Europe. Where do I sit in the grand scheme of things? I have to say I sit in the second side of things. I'm going to be honest and think Celtic, and I'll just tell you what I feel. I think the Celtic board have done a good job to a point to this, maybe not even to this date, right? But they have got us into a good financial place. We have got domestic dominance, and we have had that for quite some time. We've had a wee bit of joy in Europe, but in recent years we're not managed properly in my eyes. We don't have the right people at the top, and by the right people at the top I mean the Desmond family now. That's it for me. It's clear to see where the problems are. The problem is the Desmond family. It's not just Dermot Desmond anymore after Ross Desmond's statement. I think the board and all its members are just puppets. I think they are just yes men to Dermot Desmond. So really I think the problems stem right from the top, and Mr. Desmond and his family now see Celtic as basically theirs. They can do and they can say what they want. They can act how they want, even if it's so inappropriate that a blind man could see it. It doesn't matter to them. They are a rich Irish family, and Celtic are a Scottish-Irish club, and they just see it as theirs. And that is the thing for me that is the problem. Mr. Desmond thinks because he is a billionaire and because he has most of the shares, he can do and say as he pleases, which isn't right. I take my hat off to the man for where he has got us to. He has got the club into a good financial place. We have had quite a bit of success, but right now they are not the right people to have in charge. And what do you do to get these people out? It's a completely different world now, if I'm honest. So I'm going to talk about a few things. Firstly, the AGM. Now, it didn't go to plan. We know that. It was abandoned after 30 minutes, after repeated disruptions from shareholders and supporters. people who are angry and fed up and want to vent their feelings to the board. The board, led by Lowell, and with statements from Ross Desmond. And by the way, that statement that he dropped right at the start of that AGM, I think it was intentional. It was intentional to cause such a room of angry people that this was always going to happen. There's no way that AGM could have continued with the statement that man dropped. Looking after Daddy, and it's embarrassing actually for Dermot Desmond to everyone. I don't know the guy, but everyone I hear talks about how he is the man. Whatever he wants, he gets. And if he is the man that thinks he owns Celtic and he can't turn up to the AGM to stand up for himself, sends his son along with a wee note to tell everybody that he is a good man and he has Celtic at heart, it was just laughable actually. So Ross Desmond, he's addressed the behaviour for the fans, and I just didn't understand it. I just think if you listen to read the statement and you listen to the statement, it was a bomb that went off, and it was intended to blow things up and cause more problems. So we had fans chanting "sack the board," and we had the spectators holding up red cards as they came in and threw out. Now, this Celtic board, surely to God, knew that they were going to come into problems for this AGM. I know that they would have expected lots of hard questions, but there's no way that something wasn't going to kick off like this. And how they have dealt with that is really poor. So the fan conflict is now, for me, it's at a nasty point, and it's at a point where it's going to harm Celtic and it's going to harm our football club moving forward. Because on one side you have the I don't want to say the happy clappers, right? I don't like that word. You've got a group of fans who love Celtic just as much as the other side loves Celtic, but they are happy with what they are seeing from our board, and they are happy with, like I said, domestic dominance and the odd step into Europe here and there. They don't mind getting beat 7-1 with clubs from all accounts, right? And then you've got the other side of things, and our board and Ross Desmond are now tarring everything to the Green Brigade, right? I'm not a big fan of the Green Brigade with some of the things that they do, right? But other things I think they do a good job. But this fan movement and the fact that some of the fans do not agree with what's happening with the Celtic, but it's not the Green Brigade. It's definitely not just the Green Brigade. This is a huge section of the Celtic support that are unhappy. And for him just to label it at the Green Brigade is completely wrong. The club, we've clearly criticised the club, right, for the lack of investment. Fans have been going on about this. The failed replacement for key departures, Kyogo, Kun, we could go on and on and on. And the fact that we have been so poor in Europe, the fallout from that has been pretty big, and it just falls short of probably the right hand side of what I'm talking about, of the fan base. The other side are not bothered. Actually, it doesn't seem that they're bothered at all. But for me, I'm in the side that I would love to see Celtic push forward, and I don't see the current board and current majority shareholder being the person to take, and that family to take the club forward. So we feel domestic success isn't good enough any longer, and I agree with that, right? I would love to continue to win in Scotland. It's really, really important, but I think a club of our size should push forward. The model that we use it's just limited now. It's outdated, and it's going to keep Celtic in this big fish, little pond scenario where we are never, ever, ever going to be good enough in Europe. We're never going to step up, and we're never going to be a team that can continually be competing in the Champions League. Nobody's asking to win the Champions League. We're asking to compete in the Champions League. We're asking to put a team together like we did, that got all the way to the last few kicks of the ball against Bayern Munich. That's what we're after. We want to see a team compete and do well in Europe. Right now, What we are seeing is not acceptable. Fan base, it's sad. It's sad because you can feel it when you go to the games and you can hear some people chanting songs that we know that we want the board out, and other people you can see they're disgruntled and they're not happy about it, and it's going to fracture, I think, the Celtic support, which is really, really sad. So Desmond, or Ross Desmond, I want to be clear about that. He accused a section of the supporters of being bullies as well, and bringing the club into disrepute. While the board stated it would not be railroaded by aggressive and irrational factions, the choice of words is unfathomable. Actually, it's really poor for the guy, and he has had to have sat down with the CEO, and Lowell, probably his dad, and got his dad to sign that off, because he is another puppet, right? He is, for me, he's another puppet. And when Dermot Desmond decides to go, this is the guy that's going to be the majority shareholder of our club. So we're passing it from one man that we don't want to see at the helm to actually now this guy, Ross Desmond, is stepping up, and he has shown that he is going to be the second man that we don't want to be running the club. We're a ship heading for rocky waters. I think we're heading for turbulent times, and it is not going to be good for our club, because the board are not backing down. They're not even doubling down. They're just making it a fact that, like, this is the model. This is what we're doing, and you will shut up or put up. There's a line, I think, that has been crossed now. I think it's crossed. I don't think we can go back. I don't think we can. I had in the back of my mind, maybe this board can recover this, and maybe they can fix it, and all the hard work that they've put in, and all the great times that they've helped us create, they can change their ways, and help us grow. But I can't see it happening anymore. I can't. The relationship with Celtic board and the Ultras is just broken. It is absolutely broken. I haven't seen the videos, and I'm not going to watch the videos of what happened. I believe one person from the Green Brigade has been out of line, and I don't really want to get into it, right? But banning the whole Green Brigade is not right, in my opinion, either. The person who has stepped over the line should be dealt with, and that's it. That's how it happens. But what's happening to the Green Brigade, I think, is not good. I think the board and Mr. Desmond just want them out, and they're going to do everything to stop that. And it's going to become a thing about Celtic and the Green Brigade, and it should not be about that fan base group. It should be about the Celtic fans who are not happy with the Celtic board. The whole thing's a mess. I'm pretty sure people are fed up of it. I'm a bit fed up of it now. This is the first time I've spoken about it, really. We had Martin O'Neill on his interview talking about the AGM, and he said it was a really sad morning, and they were talking about how would Big Jockstein have reacted, and I think the reporters were trying to get about out of him, and I think the statement that O'Neill came across with, like, he would be upset from both ends, from both sides. He wouldn't want Celtic to be in this predicament, and they are, and it's really hard for him to be stuck in the middle. I love the man. I grew up through his reign, and it was the best time for me as a Celtic fan. It was superb, and he's calmed the waters a wee bit with the team, but he's managing the Celtic team right now in choppy waters, man. There are a lot of sharks swimming about, and I would love for him to stay on longer, but for what's happening, I think he would be advised just to get the job handed over to whoever Celtic are looking to, and get out, because it's a horrible place. We've got fan protest, we've got the board disputes, and he seems to be stuck in the middle, just like Brendan was quite a bit, because there's no person from Celtic board want to come out and talk, and it's always on the manager, and they get tripped up quite a few times. Like, the media want to ask questions, and they have to answer them, and sometimes it can be pretty tricky. and not a good place to be. I would hate to be in these interviews. So what have the Celtic board said? They've noted that they act prudently, not recklessly, in terms of spending, emphasising that they are financially independent, which is they are financially independent, and to me they are far too prudent. They are just far too prudent. We should be questioning whether prudence is enough, given the competitive environment of Europe. When we look at how tough it is, and how Celtic were put out the Champions League with a club like Kairat Almaty, should we be adopting a more aggressive transfer strategy for Europe? I think we should. And again, I know there's a bunch of fans that will say we shouldn't, and it might put us into trouble. If you understand your finances and you've got the right people in the door, then that should never happen. It should never happen. You'll have a place and a spot that you can get to when you spend with your wages, you spend with your players, and you factor in your European competitions, either getting to the Champions League, and if you don't, the money you're going to make in the Europa, and you just play with that. Celtic have 71 million or 73 million pound in the bank. They have not done a good enough job, unfortunately, in my opinion. What is Neil doing then? What is he bringing us right now? I think he's brought us back a little bit of light with the football team. We are getting the ball forward a hell of a lot faster. None of this horseshoe stuff Brendan Rodgers was playing. I hate it. I've never hidden it. I've never hidden the fact that I don't like it. I like possession based football to an extent. I think 60% possession is plenty. You don't need 85% possession, because 90% of that 85% is between your keeper and your two centre backs, and it's pointless and it's horrible to watch. Get the ball forward, get diagonals, get the ball pinged forward as often as you can. If you've got players making runs, get the ball over the top and get them in. So I think O'Neill's brought that, and we have seen us still continually be strong at the back. So I'm looking forward to maybe O'Neill managing for the next few games until Celtic get the right man. The whole Wilfred Nancy thing has went very, very, very quiet. I don't know what the story is with this guy, if he's going to come in, if he wants to come in, if he's had a look at us and thought car crash. I don't really want to go there. But O'Neill for me is the man, and for people who didn't live through Martin O'Neill area and they're thinking, and I've heard a lot of poor comments actually from some fans. If you've not seen his football and you've not seen what he done, 73 years old, forget the 73, forget it. He gets his teams playing really good football. You've seen it already in his few games that he's had with us. He knows how to manage a football team. There was a difference actually with this possession-based football and Pep tiki-taka stuff. Martin O'Neill can manage Celtic in this current football world. I think leave him in charge until we get the right man. And if Wilfred Nancy's not the right man, then don't bring him in. I would be happy for O'Neill to stay at the end of the season. I would be absolutely happy with that. I think he would win us the league. And potentially win as a treble. I think he could go ahead and do that. I know that we've got a lot of injuries, but I think O'Neill's the man to take us forward until we get the right guy in place. Whether that's Wilfred Nancy, I do not know. I don't know who the man is to take us forward. So we've got St Mirren tonight, 8 o'clock, away. The game's 2:47. So the rest of the games are about to get started. Let's see how the others do. I know Rangers are playing at 3 o'clock. Let me have a wee gander and see if we have got Hearts today. Are they playing? Yes. No, they are not. So you've got Rangers Livingston. Hearts must be tomorrow. Let's have a wee look here. Aberdeen Hearts. So a good chance for Hearts to drop more points. Good chance for us to actually go and cement another 3 points tonight. And let's see how Rangers do against Livingston. We are we're short. we know we're short. We're short up front. I think Johnny Kenny's the main man up front, and he's been doing super well. I'm really impressed with what Johnny Kenny has brought to the table. Right back, Alistair Johnson is out. Kobe Donovan is out. We are running in fumes there with Anthony Ralston. I would potentially, going to say put Tierney right back, but that's obviously he done superb for Scotland. I think we run with Ralston tonight. You need to have Tierney in left back actually, because we've got Sriracha out. Actually, I forgot all about that. Sriracha's another long-term hamstring injury, and then two centre backs is going to be Scales. In fact, Scales and Trusty, but we played Pusey, Simpson Pusey right back. Maybe we'll go with that again. I don't know. But it's your main man up front is Johnny Kenny. I don't know if Aniacho's back. And I think the left wing we go with Tenecti still. Right wing Maeda if he's fit. And your middle three you could pick from any of them actually. I think they're all doing really well. I like the McGregor, Engels and Nygren combination. Nygren playing as a 10 and your Engels playing more as a 6 and frees up McGregor. Quite like that. But listen, rambled a wee bit, but I've not done a video for ages. I think Celtic are in a bit of a mess right now. I would love for this to be fixed and resolved and all the fans together singing from the same hymn sheet, but that is not happening, and I think we're in for some turbulent times in this club that we all love, whether you're on the left side or the right side of what I was talking about. We're all in for a tough time, and I can see things getting messy and some fallouts and some fan splits, which is really, really not what we want. But the last thing that we want this to do is to filter down onto the pitch. I can't see anything but that happening with the negativity that's flying about. So let's fingers crossed that doesn't happen. If we get some billionaire coming in and kicking Desmond's arse out and buying his shares and we all then go and live a happy life as Celtic fans. But I think I just fell into my cornflakes there, fell asleep. Okay, let's see what happens tonight. See if we can beat St Mirren again convincingly. We've been quite convincing under Neil, so I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you are all well. We've not done a video for quite some time, so we're going to get back on the wagon again, me and Brian, and we will get some videos out, and hail to everyone. Celtic!